Hi, Cheyenne McGriff here, licensed realtor with the Soderquist team at Remax Results in Rapid City.
Trevor Madsen, a licensed loan originator, mortgage lender with Unify Home Lending, also here in Rapid City.
And we are really excited today because this is the first of our videos that we are going to start doing once a month and more if people have more questions and want to hear more from us. But our goal is to come to you with some education and help you be a little more prepared in your home buying, selling, and any of those pieces of the process with real estate.
Absolutely, Cheyenne. And as Cheyenne mentioned, this is the first video that we're doing in our educational video project that we have going on here. And this really just originated because there's a lot of questions, a lot of things that people come to us and ask us that are, it's the same question over and over again. We see the same deer in the headlights looks, going over the same paperwork all the time. We thought, there's a ton of information online. You can Google just about everything and get down some different rabbit holes, but there's a lot of great information. There's a lot of not great information. There's a lot of information that kind of it's like blurred lines, and people just go, I don't know. So we wanted to come to you and kind of just kick this thing off by educating you on, hey, what's the best way that how can I put myself in the best position to be a homeowner?
So today's topic is just that, preparing to buy a home. And I always tell my buyers, very first thing is talk to a lender and get pre-approved.
Yes, that is huge. Biggest reason why is, you're gonna come talk to Cheyenne, you're gonna go wake up one day, go, I wanna buy a house. So what do? You jump online, you find all the cute, awesome, quirky little places in town, ranging from 100,000 to 400,000, and you want her to show them all to you. But how is she gonna know?
I won't. And another tricky thing is on a lot of those sites, they have a mortgage calculator and you put in your information or you look at what the mortgage could be and you're like, oh, I could afford that. Let's go look at this house. That is totally different than what you can actually afford. You aren't going to go to the mall and go shopping if you don't know how much money is in your account. So we're not going to shop for houses until we know what you can afford.
That's exactly right. So when it comes to getting pre-approved, what does that even mean? Well, what that means is you come talk to me, I get an application from you, collect some other documentation from you, some taxes, W-2s, things like that. And we start putting the puzzle together, we start putting the picture together. And biggest thing, your credit score and your debt to income ratios, DTI. And what that means is the money that you have coming in every month in documented income versus what you have going out every month in your debts. So we want you to have the best credit score that you can have, because that's going to save you money. Your interest rate is indicative of what your credit score looks like and what your payment history looks like and kind of how your financial picture looks. So we want you to have a good credit score. And so how do you get there? Making your payments on time, making your payments in general. That's a huge one. We are evaluating you to see if you are a good borrower, that you're going to pay the money back that we are going to lend you. So it's kind of there's a process to it where we pull your credit, we calculate what your debt to income ratios are, how much money do you have for down payment, how much money do you have in general, do you need some down payment assistance, are you going to need help covering some closing costs, and what all goes into that, which leads me into closing costs, prepaids, closing costs, fees that are associated with the loan that a lot of people don't understand. So my biggest thing is, people come in and they have $10,000 in the bank. They go, I have $10,000 for a down payment. I go, okay, that's great, but we're gonna need some money for your prepaids, meaning your taxes and your insurance, to go into escrow so that they can pay that for you throughout the year when you close on a home. The other fees associated are your closing costs, meaning your lender fees, your appraisal fees, your home inspection fees, you just need to be thinking about those things as well, because those are the other things that come up, and a lot of the times people are unprepared for that.
Mm-hmm. So some of those fees, like you said, are things you need to be prepared for, and one big thing is you can go online and search for what the interest rates are. And that's not necessarily what it's going to be. As Trevor just said, it all depends on your debt to income and your credit score. So that's really important to remember. And another important thing to remember is that you need to have some money saved up, not just for those closing costs and prepaids, but also for some things that happen before you even close on the house. For example, earnest money. When you get with me and we write an offer, you have basically this money that you're saying, I'm serious about buying the house. I'm earnest about buying this. And it's usually a fee based on the purchase price of the home. And that is put in place to show the seller you're serious. And if you just freak out in the middle of the transaction, which we do our very best to keep you from doing that, but if that happens, you don't get that money back. However, if the home closes, that is a credit to you at closing. And also, like Trevor mentioned, the home inspection. You'll have to pay for that up front. The home inspector wants to get paid right away. So it's a good idea to have, $1,000 to $2,000 available so that those funds don't set you back really far from being able to purchase. And a couple other big things I know you touched on are, if you're buying a house, we don't want to find you in the car lot. And we don't want to find you at the furniture store or buying appliances and financing them. Don't buy a car. Don't finance any fridges or stoves or couches.
Wait till you close.
Yeah,
wait till you close, and you can go, spend all the money that you want on furniture, on that new hot tub. Maybe you got a spot for the boat in the back. But when we are preparing and getting everything ready for you to get into the home, you gotta just hold off on those big purchases.
Have patience. If you want the house, you can wait for the hot tub. Is the thing people buy. Okay, so the next thing is once you have your pre-approval. So say you're pre-approved for $200,000. Does that mean that you buy a house for $180 and you get $20,000 extra?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. So when you get pre-approved, let's say you get pre-approved for $200,000. Essentially what we're saying is that is your max buy power. If you can buy a $200,000 house, but that's going to be essentially maxing you out on your debt to income ratios. And you need to have some little bit of wiggle room too. I mean, if the furnace goes out, mm-hmm. or maybe you need some landscaping done.
Yeah.
Just really, I mean, there's a million different things that it could be, but
it's just really important to know that when you're buying a house, you don't want to put all of your money that you make every month toward paying your mortgage, and you want to have some saved up to do those extra things and afford your life still, because you're not going to stop driving and needing gas and paying your car payment and going out to get groceries. So just be prepared to still be able to afford your life. And that's what we do up front, is to make sure that you get this information ahead of time so that you don't get down the road and become house poor. We want to put you in a positive financial position and protect your investment with your house.
Absolutely. And we try to put everything together up front too, with everything that we get. Of course, that's, we are only as good as the information that we get. So your 100% honesty, is vital, because we don't want to get 2 days from closing and have something come up that you were hiding that, will kill the deal too. We just went through the whole process and got you set up. And our goal is to educate you on the ins and outs of how this whole process works, so that you are best prepared to become a homeowner.
And once we start looking, we want to put together your needs and wants list. So right now, while you're getting prepared and while you're working on contacting a lender to get pre-approved, think about the things you can and can't live without. Maybe if you can get the number of bedrooms you need, you don't need the master suite with the whirlpool tub. So just think about those things that are things that you can deal with. And are you okay with a fixer-upper? Are you okay with getting into the house and having to do a few things and maybe save a little money on the purchase and build equity? So have a really positive investment in your house, and be okay with doing a couple of fixes first.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the process with getting pre-approved, mortgage can sound really scary. It's definitely not as flashy and cool as looking at houses online or checking out those backyards and everything. But the process really isn't it isn't that daunting. There's no cost, there's no obligation to you, but if you want to find out, it's never too early to kind of figure out where you sit. So get a hold of me, let's do an application. I'll take a couple pieces of information, some documentation, and we can give you a pretty good indication of where you sit in a short amount of time. So
if someone's just thinking about buying a house, they could just get pre-approved and start preparing, because maybe you need to fix some things in your credit.
Exactly. So if there are some things in there, like Cheyenne said, it's never too early to start, because we can put it all together. If there's something in there that we need to iron out, it gives us some time to put a game plan together and work with you and give you some guidance on how to get that taken care of and what the best route to do that is.
So in summary, the things on my end is, number one, I send you to a lender to get pre-approved, unless you're buying cash, which that's a whole nother day, another conversation. But number two is we do your needs and wants list, and number three, we start looking, and that's where I step in and I negotiate the contracts with you.
Yep, and on my end, we're looking at making your payments, saving money, and keeping that credit score up and developing a budget.
So thank you so much for hopping on and joining us today. If you have any other questions or things you want to learn more about, drop us a comment or send us a message. We'll put our contact information on here and be available. So let us know if you want to learn anything else. Like we said, we're doing this once a month, but
for now, if you guys give us enough interest and throw enough topics at us, might be doing it more often.
So thanks for stopping in, and have a great day.